The twists just keep on coming.
It just makes for wonderful sales of newspapers, I'm sure, for them to speculate that I fed him to the tigers, which is crazy.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 craziest things that have happened since Tiger King was released.
Did I do it on purpose? No, I was wrapped up in having a zoo.
For this list, we're looking at some of the most interesting developments in the life of Joe Exotic and the world of big cats since the cameras stopped rolling. Tiger King, murder, mayhem, and madness might have come to its conclusion, but this story is far from over. Number 10. Jeff Lowe continues to be a zoo tycoon, for now. After claiming Joe Exotic's zoo as his own, Jeff Lowe began the development of an ambitious new park with Tim Stark of Indiana's Wildlife in Need.
You can't funnel and embezzle money. I came here to bail your ass out.
Sure enough, before the end of the documentary series, Lowe and Stark had a falling out, and Stark abandoned the project. Tiger King left us with the impression that Lowe was teetering on the brink of financial ruin. But for the time being, it appears that Lowe continues to operate Greater Wynwood Exotic Animal Park and intends to open his Oklahoma Zoo as soon as possible. That said, sources claim that GW, while operational, is in a sorry state. Plus, according to KTNB News, Lowe is still wanted for his crimes in Las Vegas. Number 9. John Finley's teeth. The first of Joe Exotic's husbands that we meet, John Finley is among the more likable and sympathetic figures in Tiger King.
I mean, I like pink camo. A lot of people make fun of me for it, but you know what? It's just something I like.
Finley is a real character, and his teeth are right up there with his various Joe Exotic tattoos as being his most notable physical features.
We call it meth mouth.
Well, good news for all you Finley fans out there. It's been revealed that Finley has since gotten extensive dental work done and is now in possession of a shiny new set of chompers. In a Facebook post, Finley claims that the filmmakers had footage of him with his new teeth but opted not to use it. Number 8. Shaquille O'Neal unfriends Joe Exotic. Tiger King introduces us to many larger-than-life individuals, but the biggest name is that of basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal.
Shout out to Exotic Joe. I got 2 more tigers.
Following the release of the series, O'Neal has gone on the record saying that he is, quote, not friends with Joe Exotic, and that he has, quote, no idea any of that stuff was going on. He acknowledges having visited the zoo multiple times, but claims to have not had any business dealings with Exotic. Be that as it may, it's no secret that O'Neal is a fan of big cats. According to Fox Sports, he's owned 2 tigers that live on a farm in Florida.
This is Shaq, here with my main man Joe, and Joe just gave me this tiger for a present.
Furthermore, Shaq's comment about getting, quote, 2 more tigers suggests there have been others. Number 7. Cardi B supports Joe Exotic. Shaq might be anxious to distance himself from the zookeeper turned felon, but not all celebrities share his opinion. Rapper Cardi B is one of Joe Exotic's most vocal defenders, tweeting, quote, about to start a GoFundMe account for Joe. He shall be free. She later followed it up with, quote, I stan him. Leave me alone. It's no secret that Joe Exotic has always seen himself as a rock star. The series dedicates a substantial amount of screen time to his obvious quest for stardom and recognition. We can only imagine that he's thrilled to have such high-profile fans now that the documentary has come out, even if he can only enjoy his newfound celebrity status from behind bars. Number 6. Tim Stark's legal woes. Tim Stark ultimately backed out of opening a zoo with Jeff Lowe due to concerns that the latter wasn't holding up his half of the bargain. It seemed like Stark had dodged a bullet, but trouble soon followed him back home to Indiana. In Tiger King, when asked if he thought other private zoo owners would be caught up in the wake of Joe's legal trouble, he seemed confident that he was safe. Flash forward to early 2020, however, and Stark's personal animal kingdom, Wildlife in Need, has been slapped with multiple lawsuits and hundreds of thousands of dollars in fines.
If you feel that I did anything wrong, please find me, teach me.
Adding insult to injury, Jeff Lowe has bragged about his contribution in, quote, helping the feds take down monsters like Joe Exotic and Tim Stark. Number 5. Police are asking for leads in the disappearance of Don Lewis. As co-directors Eric Goode and Rebecca Chaiklin explained to Rolling Stone, the angle of the series was ever evolving as the story came together. When Carole Baskin's story came to their attention, they dug deep and tried to find the truth about the disappearance of her ex-husband, Don Lewis, but to no avail.
She has a .45 revolver, and she took my .357 and hid it.
Because of the renewed attention the case has received following the release of the series, however, that could change. Disappearances from over 20 years ago rarely get solved, but Hillsborough County Sheriff Chad Chronister has embraced this as an opportunity to ask people to come forward with relevant information. He's reportedly since been receiving about 6 new tips per day. Number 4. Doc Antle has come out against Tiger King.
How much do people get paid?
$100 a week. $100 a week.
Doc Antle is described by Joe Exotic as something of a mentor. And while his experience in the movie industry and sleeker-looking zoo do make him seem more legitimate than Joe, Episode 2 of the series, Cult of Personality, paints him in a rather unfavorable light.
He's good at getting what he wants out of things, people and animals.
Before the end of the series, it was suggested that Doc Antle might be euthanizing cubs when they're too old for meet and greets. The high-profile trainer has since voiced his displeasure with Tiger King, saying he was, quote, very disappointed with how he was portrayed.
One of the main things he told Joe Exotic, you can't keep them all. That's a bad business decision. Because, once a tiger gets out of the stage where you can use them, they're nothing more than a bill then.
He's attempted to discredit the series as, quote, sensationalist entertainment. Antle and his staff ended this now-deleted Instagram post by inviting people to come judge their Myrtle Beach facility for themselves. Number 3. A scripted series is in the works. Had this been a work of fiction, people likely would have scoffed at the absurdity of the narrative.
He's a completely insane, gay, gun-toting, drug addict fanatic.
He wasn't real.
But as Tiger King reminds us, reality is often stranger than fiction. Now, the tale of Joe Exotic and Carole Baskin is being adapted as a scripted miniseries, inspired not by the Netflix docuseries, but rather Robert Moore's Joe Exotic Tiger King podcast. Saturday Night Live's Kate McKinnon serves as executive producer and is set to play Baskin.
A tiger needs 400 square miles of territory in the wild, so there's no cage that's going to be sufficient.
And while she's the only confirmed cast member to date, there's supposedly a long list of celebs who want in. Jared Leto, Edward Norton, and Dax Shepard all seem to be vying for the role of Joe Exotic. As for Moore, his personal choice for Joe is Margot Robbie. Number 2. Joe sues the federal government and Jeff Lowe. A 22-year sentence to prison, especially at the age of 57, is enough to kill even the strongest of spirits. But hey, Joe Exotic is not most people.
If I win and get out, I've got to completely start my life all over again. And I'm looking forward to starting all over again.
So rather than resign himself to life behind bars, he's fighting back by suing everyone he feels has wronged him. According to Rolling Stone, his lawsuit alleges that the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service targeted him and his fellow big cat breeders. He also blames them for contributing to the death of his mother, among many other wrongdoings. Altogether, he's demanding $94 million from the federal government. As for Jeff Lowe specifically, Joe accuses him of filing false statements, switching his meds, and stealing his property.
They call it set up, I call it investigate. And did I encourage him from time to time? Probably.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Carole Baskin has come out against Tiger King.
Isn't it suspicious that the power of attorney says, upon my disappearance? Is that normal verbiage?
I have, in 37 years, never seen it say, or disappearance.
Both Joe Exotic and Jeff Lowe seem pleased with the success of Tiger King, regardless of how they were portrayed. Carole Baskin, however, is not of the same opinion.
He said to be sure and get the Costa Rica truck ready because he was leaving early in the morning for Miami. And that was the last thing that he said to me.
The last thing he said to me was that he needed me to have Kenny get a truck ready because he was going early, he said.
She has come out swinging against the docuseries, labeling the Netflix original, quote, salacious and sensational. Naturally, she has also reiterated that she had no involvement in the disappearance of her husband. She further claims that the filmmakers misled her, pitching it to her as a, quote, big cat version of Blackfish, the influential documentary about captive orcas.
In my view, the biggest con artists of them all were Eric Goode and Rebecca Chaiklin.
Her current husband, Howard Baskin, has made similar statements. In response, the filmmakers have asserted that Baskin was in no way coerced, and that the wide range of subjects she addresses on camera speak to that fact. Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.